torment. Like, very Taoist, vegan, I slay Goliath with aphorisms. There's no way you can figure this out. Let me check out these solar flares. You don't have to believe me, to be honest. I can only tell you this, and I don't think I'd believe this if I heard it, but I just have to tell you because you don't know about it any other way than through me, focal centre of what's happening. Back in Spain, they were doing a lot of gypsy stuff back in Spain, which caused a coronavirus outbreak for them back then, and it was to do with spirit being kind of gypsies in castles. Again, this is not really an assumption, I'm just telling you exactly what I know. I know this, okay. So I was homeless, and I got smashed in the head with like a big iron hook or a hammer. It's not why this side of my face is down, that's from a stroke that I had on this, very serious stroke that I had on this side. And which I couldn't get help for. I called 911 and 112 and all, and they just said, no, we won't be helping you. I was like, oh my god, what a creepy nightmare. But I was having that stroke. But yeah, I got smashed in the head with a hammer or something in a dodgy area at dark times. So it was where I wasn't supposed to be, I suppose. For a $5 and a chicken sandwich or something like this. Yeah. Like a bee harming a human or certain humans harming some other people. I went completely spiritually deaf after this side. This is a very important point in your head, and I got crushed on me, completely crushed. Crushed the porcelain man. You broke the porcelain man. You're not supposed to break my bones breaking anyway. So you crushed my skull, and I was pretty brain damaged for a while. And one of the last things I remember even seeing, because I lost a lot of intuitions and a lot of things, I was lots of angels departing the earth. All of them, just plumes of them, just all departing the earth. I'm not saying it was due to me being stabbed in the head, but then I can't hear either, so it's almost like I probably left the earth in some sort of way, because they say, like, I've got an ignorance issue now for the last, 2 or 3 years ago, was it? And it's not, I just don't hear. So it's like they might have cut them, humanity might be cut off from me for the offence or the trespass for doing this, and I don't hear them anymore. So yeah, this was okay. So you've probably had a lot of spiritual defense. It's very hard to focus on or to steal somebody's orreries or their rosaries or their names or their things when you had all this angelic protection defense. You lost all that by as it appears, and when you lost all of that, the Rockerfella family, Damien's or his mother, I'm pretty sure it was his mother, had the idea, or came to the awareness that everybody was very vulnerable and they could take everybody's orrery at this time, and they did at one holistic time. They didn't even stop to try. They took everybody's orrery on the face of the earth, and they used them all at the same time. Orreries are your stars. They're very connected to your destiny, your your immune system, your immunity. If you lose your star for some sort of way, you might have a lover maybe, and you had a star together, and she gets the star or something. It takes it after. They take off, kind of exes take off, and trying to get ahead. And you might feel very lonely, depressed, and lost because you've lost a very important part of your destiny and things. And you might even get sick, from these kind of things. People get sick from heartbreak until you find a new star or make a new star yourself. So you might get to studying, and you might get into a new agenda life, a new path life, and you get a new star probably. So stars have a lot to do with you. But anyway, they stole everybody's star, the Rockefellers, and they had a 3-week holiday. They called it the summer break or the summer holiday or something, and they had 3 weeks where they tripped out, lying flat like all the China are doing at the moment, lying on the floor like snakes, baby, when it comes undone. It's a good song. So yeah, they had 3 weeks in some super wonderfully fueled, trippy heaven. I can only imagine. I've never been to these kind of things. Never let poor Rudolph. It was mostly my. So yeah, that's what happened to you all. These all got your stars stolen at the one time. You didn't lose your stars, but you are probably concerned when he's lost your angels protecting your stars, protecting you and your origin stars. But then they harvested you all, and just like the aliens, I know this sounds so weird, but it was silly really that the aliens in War of the Worlds, I've never really seen it, but they died just from being separated from their stars. They travelled the universe. They got disconnected from the stars. And so this is obviously a hypothesis. What happened because we might have been travelling into space or getting disconnected or somewhere from the stars and getting sick. And humans knew about it and put it into a science fiction movie where that would happen if we travelled to Earth. Well, that's just a silly little thing, but that's what happened. There's the same sickness that you all got. And then you didn't know how to handle it. You thought it was bacterial, and even in England were like, we still don't really understand it. It's not exactly bacterial. The face masks are helping in a way that are protecting your identities from people becoming connected because you didn't have stars and stuff, and you were becoming very interconnected. And this is where a lot of sickness. I thought it was funny. You were all using sanitizers, and it really annoyed me because I understood what was happening. Because all forced everybody to use hand sanitizers. Where like you go into a church and you all use the same water spout to get kind of mutually connected for the mass in a very nice way. It connects. You're using the same water fence, so everyone was using hand sanitizers, and it was probably causing a lot more connectivity than it was. But they're not going to tell you, even if they knew about it, they wouldn't actually tell you about it, the stars and stuff like that, because it's too much knowledge, I suppose, to hit the streets. But it has hit the streets now. It's very Jeremiah in the world, and people need to address it. So yeah, that's because coronavirus was a lad from the back of an estate in Bray who smashed me in the head with a hammer, and then the Rockerfella family harvested you all and had a summer holiday, and it took a while to build back new stars and build back new stabilities, and I'm not sure about the angels. You're probably still very vulnerable now. I imagine if you haven't got angels back in your world, you're probably still earning orreries and stars now and having them very easily stolen from you all. So yep, yeah, Rockefeller trash, man. So you can hold them semi-accountable. You can prove this in a way. I imagine that they did harvest everybody at the same time, and you can hold the Rockefeller family accountable for coronavirus, for 16 million people being dead. And that's not a competition. It's more that in Peep Show. Isn't he responsible for the deaths of like 12 million people? That's more than Hitler, isn't it? It's not a competition, Sophie. Yep. So Rockefeller trash. Laughing on my ass.